Hello, good afternoon, Andy. Once again, it's a pleasure to have you at Archaeosoup Towers. Now, we're making this video just to bring people up to speed on the aftermath of the Sekhemka sale at Christie's. There have been developments, and can you just fill us in on what's going on?
Well, absolutely, Mark. Basically, the sale of Sekhemka has been a big stone into the pond of the British Museum and heritage sector, and the ripples are still rippling outwards, and we don't yet know where they're going to all end up. The big news is that on Friday, 1st of August, Arts Council England reviewed the sale of Sekhemka, and as a result, they've withdrawn the museum accreditation of Northampton's two museums, which basically means that until 2019, because it's a 5-year exclusion, they will not be eligible for Arts Council funding. Existing grants may be reclaimed, and there's a great big red flag over Northampton's cultural service as regards any other funders, Heritage Lottery, charitable funding, whatever. So it's about as severe a sanction as the British Museum's establishment can impose on an authority.
Right, and I mean, is there any word on whether this will have a lasting effect, so beyond those 5 years? There are people out there, for example, who may be thinking, well, 5 years, that's only the term of one parliament. That's hardly a proper punishment for this sale. Will this actually affect their reputation?
I think it certainly affects Northampton's reputation. Certainly that's how the opposition politicians see it. And for example, there are moves in the local council to debate the issue, and one of the things that's being suggested is that the museums are put out to trust, which would stop them being seen as almost a political fiefdom come political piggy bank. So obviously that's coming from opposition parties who are trying to score political points. In terms of the effect it will have on Northampton, the council leader, Councillor McIntosh, who drove the sale of Sekhemka, has been very bullish. He appeared on Front Row on the BBC radio on the evening of the ban, and basically said that everything was fine, and why aren't the Arts Council noting that we're putting £8 million into our museum service? Now, which did rather suggest he didn't quite get it. He was pushing a particular message, which is that what the council did was good for Northampton. It remains to be seen. It's certain. I think most people would say it's certainly not good for the museum sector, because as the Arts Council's head of acquisitions and loans, Scott Furlong, said, one of the things it does is damage people's trust in the idea of a museum as a place that is a secure store for our heritage, and is also a place where people can donate money and objects with the expectation that they will be conserved for the public good.
Okay. Well, in that case, I guess we'll just keep an eye out for this and see where it goes. I know that there's interest, for example, from abroad in Egypt, and also other people in the Middle East are keeping an eye on this development, and also trying to see who actually purchased the statue. I
think there's one more thing to be said, that there are a number of questions to be answered. The two principal ones who did buy it, Christie's had confirmed it was bought by a private collector. And in a sense, that's the worst case scenario, because there's no guarantee that something that was on public display for 100 years will ever be seen in public again. We don't know where it's going. We don't know who bought it. The other thing, I think, is that there are many people who are still looking at the mechanics of how this deal came about, and particularly in the old journalistic adage, follow the money, because there are huge questions about how the deal came about. We've now seen the sales agreement between Northampton City Council, Borough Council, and Christie's, and it's signed off by a senior Northampton officer, and the address given for the seller is the Guildhall, Northampton. Now, if that is the case and the council is entirely the seller, why have they given over £6 million to the Marquis of Northampton?
Again, all good questions, and I think, this is certainly going to be a landmark case for the relationship between museums and their charges. The things that they're asked to look after, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think more than any of the other cases that have gone before, including Riesco in the Riesco porcelain in Croydon, this one, because I think partly because of the international aspect, because our colleagues in Egypt have been following it very much as well. This one will run, and people will continue to chase it down, because it is such a significant moment in our in the development of our attitude towards museums and museum collections.
Okay, well, as I say, thank you so much for your time, and we'll catch up on this in the near future. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Mark. Bye.